As Audi and Cadillac go head-to-head in the Speed World Challenge GT Championship. On a very warm and humid Georgia day, Speed Channel welcomes you to the magnificent Road Atlanta circuit here in Georgia for the second last round of the 2004 SCCA Speed World Challenge GT Championship. And as is the case and was the case with the touring car race, there is a title on the line. Hello everyone, I'm Lee Diffie along with our road racing analyst Dorsey Schrader and Brian Till on pit lane. Let's bring you up to date with the points as of the first 8 rounds of this 10-round championship, and it's tight. Just 11 points separating Audi's Michael Galati and 3R's Tommy Archer. That, you get the feeling, will go all the way to Laguna Seca. Depends on what happens here today, but we've got a lot to talk about with competition adjustments, etc. But the real talking point, and there's a lot of pressure with these two huge manufacturers, Audi and Cadillac, separated by just 9 points. That could go either way, Dorsey.
It could, but I got to tell you, this restriction that they put to the Audi this weekend is really going to be a big, major factor in this race, no question.
And we'll elaborate on that. We'll talk about that throughout the race. But there is a special addition to the World Challenge, and Brian Till can tell us more.
The Manufacturers' Championship points definitely important here. That's why you see the 3 Cadillacs entered and the 3 Audis. We've actually seen Cadillac enter 3 cars earlier this year, but Johnny O'Connell gets the nod for the seat this weekend in your own backyard. But Johnny, maybe the most ironic thing, you did color commentary on this series last year and talked bad about some of these guys. Now you're swimming with the sharks, buddy. You worried about retribution?
I've already apologized to everybody. You know what, I got to tell you, these are definitely a different beast than what I'm used to. These Cadillacs are amazing cars, and the fact that Cadillac has made a commitment to this series, to the SCCA, is pretty cool. We've struggled a little bit on the 12 car, but a lot of changes done overnight, and hopefully we'll have a good race car today.
Well, we talk about the importance of Manufacturers' Championship points. The guys leading that Manufacturers' Championship right now, Audi, nowhere to be found in the top 10. In fact, the first Audi rolls off, it would be Peter Cunningham in 12th place. Michael Galati rolls off 11th. These guys really down on power this weekend. SCCA levied a competition adjustment after Road America and cut that turbocharger inlet restrictor by almost 50%. They've got a long way to go if they want to hold on to the Manufacturers' Championship. Guys?
It will be a long, hot, hard day's work here. Time for the Volvo track map. Talk us round, Dors.
Road Atlanta, one of the best racetracks I always thought in the United States. A lot of elevation change here. It's very high speed. A lot of racing room around here for side-by-side action. We're going to see a lot of that. And this is a muscle car type of track. So we're going to see all the boys with the big horsepower flex their muscle going down that long back straightaway.
Time to take a look at our starting grid, and 5 times in the 8 races so far this year, the pole man has gone on to take the checkered flag. Can Max the Axe Angelelli do it today? We'll find out. That's his 3rd pole of the year, and fast Phil McClure starts right alongside him. Tommy Archer, who has been the picture of consistency this year, will he be strong again today? I think so, and Andy Pilgrim as well. Hanging in there and fighting tough in the championship, and still very well placed in 3rd. Robin Liddell will be the dark horse. He's a very talented driver, the man from Scotland, lives in England, and this is his 2nd drive in that AXA Porsche. And good to see Leighton Rees back in his regular car as well. Lucia Lotti and Johnny O'Connell there also. Johnny really looking forward to this race. Got a lot to tell you about that too. He's found it quite a challenge in this Cadillac CTS-V. Mike Culver in the Porsche. He didn't do the West Coast races this year, but he's back with it, did Road America, and he's ready to go again. And Bob Woodhouse, who has been improving each and every time. This is the big talking point. We get back outside the top 10 and 3 Audis outside, and we welcome Peter Cunningham back to the Speed GT Championship. It'll be interesting to see how he goes.
He will. First time in that car, but I tell you, that restriction they put on there is really costly. And this is a horsepower racetrack with a lot of straightaway speed. They're going to be in real trouble, I believe.
On boards. And Jameson Riley will show us this from the new Volvo. Great to have him on the grid as well in that car. Derek Bell shows us this view. Derek's really enjoying driving this car as well. They're trying to improve the power and the performance of this car. Very early days in its development though.
Yeah, they're still down on horsepower. They don't have the horsepower they need, but that's something that they can work on as the program progresses for them.
Tony Gaples, as always, carries that on board. Mike Galati, this will be a busy shot. he has got a lot of work to do today. It's hot here just north of Atlanta. It's humid for this time of year, and we're ready to go racing. Can Angelelli do it? Let's go! Road Atlanta style. Speedwell Challenge GT. And look at this. Gallardi gets out on, or was it Peter Cunningham on the grass going down into turn 1. They're scrambling.
But the Audi with the all-wheel drive, it can get traction out there in the grass too, so that might not have been a bad move, but when they get to the straightaway, we'll see.
It was Mike Gallardi who went out on the grass. He runs side by side with Peter Cunningham, and right at the back of the field, Randy Popes, the reigning champion, trying desperately to work his way through. And look at this, Robin Liddell running third and pressuring Phil McClure early.
I hate to say this, but I kind of put money on Robin Liddell this weekend. He's really a talented driver, as you said, and I think that Porsche is going to be a good car for this racetrack.
Remember, Porsche won twice last year at the hands of Mike Fitzgerald. They performed very, very well. We'll see what Liddell can do here. Look at this. Lou Gilotti on the inside, trying to force his way through.
Now watch here. This is the turn 7 onto the long back straightaway. One of the most important corners to get right, because it leads onto this winding straightaway. And drafting here is definitely going to be something that this Audi, I think, will have to do, because he's down on horsepower from that restrictor, inlet restrictor. You see these guys driving away. That's a bad sight to see when you're on that straightaway, because they're only halfway down it right now, and those cars are leaving.
Well, let's address this because it is a talking point. Brian mentioned it, and you've mentioned it vaguely, but let's get specific as they dodge for position on the inside. McClure, side by side. Now Liddell switches to the outside. Angelelli defends. Fast Phil gets it sideways, and it switches back. Now he's got the inside run over the top of the hill. Can't quite get there.
Oh, this won't work. 4 wide.
Oh, my goodness. They're coming onto the main straight in this caution period.
Oh, my. This is
They need to clear out. Whoa.
What are they thinking here? That truly is not fun.
That could have been ugly. That could have been very ugly.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe they let that happen. That turn 12 is completely flat out, and I'm talking about, you know, well over 100 miles per hour and a loose car with a car right in the road in a tow truck. That was not a good decision by someone.
Boy, oh boy, that was scary stuff. And that is the fourth 3R machine of Robert Foster. And they clear that situation up. He's obviously just stalled on the line or something like that. We're under our first full course caution of the day. They get to take a breather after a pretty dynamic opening lap. You get the feeling this one is only going to get better. Stick around.
So just when I'm thinking, isn't there a car out there I could get excited about? Wham! There's this car with all this stuff. Then as I'm thinking, now here's a car I could see myself in. Wham! There's this other car with all this stuff. Then just as I'm thinking, how could this possibly get any sweeter?
The Mazda 3 and Mazda 3 5-door. The wait is over. Now arriving daily. Rethink what's possible.
People like Hooters for college football. People love Hooters for pro football. People love nothing more than a Saturday with the coldest beer in town. Except a Sunday with world-famous wings. People go to Hooters for Thursday nights. They go for Monday.
Hey, guys. We're the reason people come to Hooters.
Hooters is football. Get to Hooters for specials anytime football is on.
Terry, this isn't fair. Those girls win every time.
Hey, haven't you noticed? They have better equipment than us.
When my father bought the life insurance, he was thinking about us, that we were going to be okay, even if he were not here. Our Prudential insurance agent was there to answer the questions that we had, to provide my mother with the reassurance that we didn't have to worry about financial matters. The planning that my dad did meant that I could finish college. That was something that my dad really wanted for me. Because of the Prudential life insurance, some of the time I think my dad is still taking care of us.
So just when I'm thinking, isn't there a car out there I could get excited about? Wham! There's this car with all this stuff. Then as I'm thinking, now here's a car I could see myself in. Wham! There's this other car with all this stuff. 2 cars, the same, yet different. Kind of like those twins I met in Chicago.
The Mazda 3 and Mazda 3 5-door. Rethink what's possible.
Speed Channel's coverage of the Speed GT Championship is brought to you by Toyo Tires, driven to perform, and by Volvo. Volvo for life. Welcome back to Road Atlanta. Well, a pretty scary incident. If you've just joined us, These cars were running flat out. We're under a full course caution at the moment. They were running flat out, and there was a stalled car on the front stretch with the flatbed. The tow truck was there to help out. Now look at this.
3 wide coming through turn 12 at 120 some odd miles an hour. They get a stalled car right in their face. All these guys scrambling. Did a great job. That was very poor planning for someone. Watch on board now. And I tell you, we can talk to Derek Bell, who's in the Volvo. Let's ring him up here. Hey, Derek Bell, Dorsey Schrader in the speed booth. That first lap looked pretty scary to us, and they had that stalled car at start finish. How close was that?
Well, I was fortunate. I went to the right-hand side. It's the first start I've really made. This is the first time I sort of came into it and I saw bits of green. Just had a restart, so I'm going to have to start concentrating a bit so I don't lose too many places, Dorsey. Back to you.
All right, Derek got busy right there, guys, but that back on green. Here's Johnny O'Connell we ride with, and right up in front of him there you see Leighton Reese and the Banner Engineering.
Johnny sits 7th at the moment, so he's made a good start. He's picked up 1 position, trying to make some ground on Leighton Reese. I'm sure he's comfortable to be back in the Banner Corvette after leasing that car just for 1 round from Bob Woodhouse when he drove the Viper Competition Coupe at Road America.
Heard right there that Johnny O'Connell was not able to do the S's flat. He had to feather out of it on the way down. Of course, he's on cold tires right now again. But these cars and the tires that they run on are really not that twitchy on the first couple laps out. Of course, Johnny hasn't been in one of these cars in quite a long time.
And he said, you've really got to massage this car. You've really got to treat it right. He said, well, the 88 goes flying off, and that is Peter Tonelli. Everything's okay, though. He'll be able to continue. Yeah, Johnny said it's very delicate. He said it's a completely different car to his ALMS C5R. And
look at all the gravel now that he's going to dump out on the racetrack for these guys to go through. Here's what happens. That's right at turn 6. He gets off on there's a little bit of a bank corner right there, and he goes off the tee. Now, what he did right was he stayed in the throttling, drove his way through this gravel trap so he didn't get stuck.
At the moment, Max Angelelli for the Corvette, for the Cadillac factory team, leads the way from Phil McClure and Robin Liddell. We saw Robin make his World Challenge debut at Road America a month ago, was running strong early on and locked up, spun at turn 5, and then he had to play catch-up. But he put in a mighty drive there, and O'Connell continues to make ground here.
Well, he did do a really good job at that race. He actually had new brake pads put in the front, and they were grabbing first few laps, which caused that problem. Robin Liddell, I would have thought, and he's struggling a bit on straightaway speed. I think the Porsche is not quite up to speed of these big V8 Cadillacs or the Viper or the Corvettes that we're running against.
And actually a change there on that lap with Lou Gilotti and Tim Weens actually getting by Johnny O. So he is working as hard as he can. Meanwhile, look at this pack. Great group here as Tommy Archer tries to do something about Robin Liddell. Archer's keeping a watchful eye on Andy Pilgrim in the second of 3 works caddies, and then he's got Leighton Reese all over the back of him.
Tell you what, Tommy Archer's the guy to watch for this championship too, because he's very coy, he is, and that car is very potent without a doubt, and this is a place where it should run well in this long straightaway.
Speak of the Audis for just a moment, and actually we began that conversation saying you and Brian touched on it vaguely, but get a little more specific about what the SCCA handed down, what they've asked Audis to do with their car.
The biggest thing they did was they put a 49.4% restrictor in upstream of the turbocharger, so it's breathing through about a size of a quarter now. And that's just what it does. It takes tons of horsepower away. They've taken that away. They've done some other things as well to the weight distribution of the car and so forth, but they've really penalized it, I think, quite a lot.
Brian, what do you have for us?
Guys, it is very hot down here, and one of the issues today is going to be tire wear. I talked to Tommy Archer about it. He's particularly concerned because he's carrying 245 pounds of that rewards weight. You add the heat and that extra weight around this very twisty road Atlanta circuit, you're going to get tire wear. He said, I'm going to take it easy in the beginning and just try to keep the guys close and try to have tires left at the end. Tires are going to be an issue for everybody, and maybe Robin Liddell, who we were looking at earlier in the Porsche, has an advantage on that. He's got a fast race car and not any rewards weight on it, guys. But anyway you look at it, tire wear in this heat, it's going to be an issue.
That's a very good point. Tire wear on these cars, they have so much horsepower that you can really run off the rear tires. Here's Michael Galati in the all-wheel drive. He's in 13th position. You can wear these tires out before the race is over, so that might be a smart call. And like he said, not Mike Culver, but Robin Liddell in the Porsche might have an edge toward the end.
Galati in 12th at the moment, and he's pushing for 11th. He's trying to get by Bob Woodhouse, but look at the power difference.
That's what I'm saying. When that happens to you, there's nothing you're going to do. You're just going to drive around. When they leave you down this long straightaway, I mean, it's all over.
And look at this. Peter Cunningham tucked right in behind.
Yeah, that's what you need to do here. You need to top up really close like that and draft, but they're still way slow.
Randy Popst has made up several positions. He's come from the back of this field as Lou Gelati slips on the inside of Leighton Reese. Nice move.
Good move under the bridge, yeah. Got
the exit
inside.
of 10B coming up the hill. Now Leighton needs to respond. See if he can do that. Meanwhile, Lou Gelati now sizes up Andy Pilgrim. It's Angelelli, McClure, Liddell, the top three. Then we get into this group. And to finish off that point on our reigning champion, Randy Popst has come from last to 16th. He continues his forward surge.
Heinrich, yeah. I'll be right there.
They've left little room for compromise.
Headlights that turn on curves. Impressive.
The new RX from Lexus.
They are waiting for you.
Continuing to put the world on notice.
Get all the racing updates tonight on Speed. From NASCAR to drag racing, Speed has all your racing news. At 7, Speed News NASCAR edition. Then at 7:30, Speed News Sunday. And at 8, NASCAR Victory Lane from Dover. That's all tonight on Speed. F1, the Grand Prix of China, the Shanghai Circuit. Innovative, inspired, and amazingly fast. What secrets will be revealed at this untested circuit? The Grand Prix of China, tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern, only on Speed.
Lighter, faster, smaller, huge. Get the latest in form, function, and flat-out fun with a special offer from Dell. Choose from 2 outstanding systems. Get 1 exceptional value. On the desk or on the move, do more with a powerful PC that combines the latest technology in one package. Dell, America's favorite PC. Right now on Channel 227.
Morning.
What's up, bro?
Welcome to the party. It's the ESPN Game Plan College Football Pay-Per-View Package. Get access to up to 12 games every Saturday all season long for only $119. Call 1-800-GET-SPORTS or go to directtv.com to order.
Checkered flag is inside here at Sebring. Round 1 of the Speed World Challenge GT Championship, and it's a Cadillac 1-2.
Well, we knew we had a good car, and we tested a lot in Sebring. We knew we were competitive. So I went there, approached the race to win the race, every pole, and the best lap. That was my target, you know. I knew I could do it, and we did it.
After Max Angelelli and Cadillac dominated at Sebring, the CTSV was significantly adjusted for the next round at Lime Rock Park. Angelelli managed to finish 3rd there and 6th in the following race at Mid-Ohio and stood 2nd in the championship standings. Then came the West Coast Swing.
I couldn't believe, because that basically came from a mistake I made and misreading the different speed on braking, because basically I turned on the fight mode too early in the race.
Look at this, Angelelli on Popst. Oh,
he
no!
gets going to crash.
These two contacted at Infineon Raceway, and it's happened again.
You have to remember that my last sprint race was back in '96. So this year I'm struggling because I want to go in the first lap in the fight mode right away. You need to be patient and wait, and it's not easy, because when you're going and you are out there, you want to push, overtake, and go for a win.
Through this year's hardships, Angelelli continues to be focused on the team's objective.
My goal is the same as it was in Sebring. I personally, and we all together want to win the car manufacturer championship first. Target, that is the target, and we go for that. We need to win, we need to beat Audi.
Cadillac need to beat Audi, and at the moment, Cadillac, the 3 Cadillacs are in the top 10, the 3 Audis are outside the top 10. It is a tough fight, no doubt, for for the champion Audi team. These guys looking strong today. The caddies are doing it well. 1.3 seconds Max Angelelli has over Phil McClure. Liddell staying in touch. And then look at this group here. It's on. 3R Racing's Tommy Archer fending off Andy Pilgrim. Lou Gilotti has made up a considerable amount of ground. He is right there with Andy now, and Leighton Reese is on the back of this group, and Tim Weens has his hands full with Johnny O'Connell. Mike Culver in the Porsche rounds out the top 10.
That's a great race going on. I should say also that the Audi was not the only car to receive an adjustment. As a matter of fact, the Cadillac got an adjustment in weight distribution. The Chevrolet Corvette was reduced 50 pounds. Dodge Viper Coupe, 50 pounds off it. The 911 GT3, 2% less restriction, so it gets some horsepower. And the Celine gets a 100-pound weight break. So there's been a lot of adjustments going on.
Which is in line with how the SCCA manages this championship, in accordance with keeping it competitive and fair. And obviously different teams and manufacturers have their own views on that.
Well, there's always complaining, that's for sure. That's your job almost in this class, to complain that the other guys got too much. But without question, the Audi is really hurt on its performance right now.
Let's get an update from the pits. Brian.
Well, Lee, I checked in with Louis Gilotti, Lou Gilotti's son, and the crew chief on that team, and I talked to him about tires and asked him how hard his dad could go from the beginning, because we see him charging really hard. He said, we're going to go 100% from the word go. We think we've got a setup on the car that the tires will last. Right behind him, you see Leighton Reese doing a great job in his Banner Engineering Corvette. One of the things Leighton told me is he credited a lot of his performance here this weekend and over the last couple of races to Tommy Archer. He said, Tommy's taught me how to save tires, and we should have a good car at the end. So two very different strategies right there on two Corvette drivers.
Well, one thing we've seen throughout this year is that the Cadillacs, for some reason, seem to hold up better. The longer the distance of the race goes, the Cadillacs seem to come to the front.
And I asked Andy Pilgrim about that at Road America, and he said, I think we're able to maintain a good balance with the car throughout the entire race, and perhaps towards the end of the race, when people get tire degradation or whatever the case may be, they're starting to fall off that performance level. They can stay there for a little longer. Brian?
Well, the other thing about it, guys, I had the same conversation with him. That car has such a low CG, such a low center of gravity, that it really doesn't roll a lot of weight out to the tires, and it probably has some of the best weight distribution in the class. And with that low CG, it really takes care of the tires. It keeps the weight down low. It doesn't load them too much through the corners, and that helps a lot, especially on a track like this and on a day like this.
Tim Weens, the third of 4 3R drivers now. The first interstate in Dodge Viper Competition Coupe. And Johnny O'Connell is fending off Mike Culver.
Yeah, Mike Culver in the Porsche really giving hard on the brake zones, giving Johnny all a fit right now.
And if you missed the top of the show, it was quite funny. Johnny had a giggle, and the entire fraternity, Speedball Challenge fraternity, had a giggle, because when Johnny did the commentary last year and he gave a few people a little rough up here and there, and then when he drove this car, he said, boy, this is quite challenging. So at the drivers' meeting, he did stand up and apologize to everyone, and there was a huge amount of laughter. I think they let him off the hook.
Yeah, they did, yeah.
Time to take a quick break from Road Atlanta. More of the Speed GT Championship when we return.
Introducing the new 320 horsepower V8 Cadillac STS. Let's dance. Breakthrough.
Today's hottest cars. The world's top manufacturers, door-to-door competition, adrenaline pumping action. Experience it live at Fry's Electronic Sports Car Championships at Mazda Raceway Laguna Seca, Monterey, California, October 15th through the 17th. For tickets, call 800-327-SECA. SCCA Speed World Challenge, everything you dreamed road racing should be.
Speed Monday. First, inside Nextel Cup. Then, get inside the real world of racing. NBS 24/7. And what makes action movies so explosive? Fifth Gear. It's all new Monday, 7 Eastern, 8 Pacific, only on Speed.
Monday nights right here on Speed. Join my friend Tiff Needell for one of the new shows on the network, Fifth Gear. It breaks the car show mold, that's for sure. Brush up on your driving skills, get tips on avoiding speed traps, and road test the hottest cars on the market. That's Fifth Gear, Monday nights at 9 Eastern, right here on Speed. Tony Gaples there, and look at this. This is the battle for second. Robin Liddell really forcing the issue now with Phil McClure.
Phil McClure drops the wheel off right there. Shows how hard he's trying to keep Robin Liddell behind him there. We theorize that the Porsche is going to get stronger the further it goes because it's a little bit lighter. Better on tire management. Look at the rear wing shake on that thing.
Yeah.
Holy cow, that's not normal.
He's setting up. He's got the line here. He's got the line. The inside run into 10.8. Perfect pass from Robin Liddell.
Of course, Porsche known for its braking potential. That's a really good braking car. I didn't like what I saw with that wing, though. That thing shaking around. If that were to come off, it would be a big, unpleasant moment for Robin.
For many of you that watch the Speedball Challenge, I'm sure you also watch the American Le Mans Series. That's where you'll remember Robin Liddell's name from. He's a very experienced, in particular, Porsche driver from the UK.
Oh, well, there's a problem.
Been out here, one of the caddies. That's Johnny O.
Johnny O. I don't know. Maybe what we were talking about, the drivers meeting, somebody giving him a payback shot, maybe. We'll see.
Boy, he's kept his foot in it. He's done about 2 360s there. Getting headed in the right direction, Johnny O. And it looked like there was contact there between he and Mike Culver. Meanwhile, that's Randy Popst, who's back in 16th, just getting by Johnny. So that shows you how costly it was because O'Connell was running in the top 10. Culver on the inside.
Oh, and just got in there way too deep and just taps him right there, sends him flying. Johnny stays on the throttle, tries to get the thing to spin around the rest of the way, and unfortunately didn't do exactly like he wanted. Did cause a lot of smoke for the fans, though. It's not victory smoke. Here, look
Take
at
a
this.
listen.
Well, if they got together, it wasn't very much, but it doesn't take that much either.
Whoop.
Johnny just having a hard time getting her going again.
And now he comes back up right on Randy Popst, and McCann's gone.
Oh, that was a good save, it was. He did a really good job. That's that bank corner, turn 6. He got in there too tight, broke it loose with the Viper.
And that's Mike McCann, who is the lead rookie in the 2004 Speed GT Championship. Mike getting a little loose there. Johnny's been able to get by Randy Popst. And so finds himself now in 15th place. Meanwhile, look at this. There's pressure on for the lead. Angelelli can see a rear view mirror full of the AXA Porsche.
And this is what I expected out of Robin Liddell. Back, you and I had talked with him before. I said, I think this is your day, mate. Last week you had a little problem, but I think the Porsche on this racetrack with no reward weight is going to be potent.
And last year, remember, terrific racing over many years in the Speed GT Championship. And last year it was a very tight race, and Mike Fitzgerald ran away with it in the Porsche here. At Road Atlanta, we've lost the 88 again. Peter Tonelli has ended up in the gravel trap, in the tyre wall as well.
This time he's gotten into the wall right there in front of us, actually, right below us.
12.
That's a very dangerous area, so that will bring out a full course caution, I'm sure, at some point. Because if you get off there straight on like he did, that's a big accident he's just had, I believe.
Wow, and he's gone in hard.
Well into the 100-mile-per-hour plus category when you hit that wall.
No sign of the full course caution as yet. Now it flies. Right now. Second full yellow, and it comes at a time when Max Angelelli was coming under increasing pressure from ALMS regular Robin Liddell. His second race in Speed World Challenge.
This will probably help Max Angelelli because he's going to have time now to cool the brakes, cool the tires on that big caddy, and get things back in check.
This is what happened to Peter Tonelli.
Oh, that's not good at all. That's way into the 100-mile-an-hour bracket. He locks it up good. This helped him a lot. The gravel slowed him down. That would have been much, much worse had not the gravel and the tire wall be there.
In the end, that wasn't too bad.
No, it wasn't.
It looked a lot worse than what it was. Under yellow for the second time, round 9 of the Speed GT Championship. Stick around. More from Road Atlanta in a moment.
We are rocket scientists. Our mission, to explore the outer limits of power and control. which explains how we dreamt up a 227 horsepower, turbocharged boxer engine bolted to a symmetrical all-wheel drive system. We've taken performance to a world it's never been before. The Subaru WRX.
We have ignition.
Visit your Subaru dealer for 2.9% APR for 63 months on every 2005 Subaru.
People like Hooters for college football. People love Hooters for pro football. People love nothing more than a Saturday with the coldest beer in town. Except a Sunday with world-famous wings. People go to Hooters for Thursday nights. They go for Monday.
Hey, guys. We're the reason people come to Hooters.
Hooters is football. Get to Hooters for specials anytime football is on.
Terry, this isn't fair. Those girls win every time.
Hey, haven't you noticed? They have better equipment than us.
We are rocket scientists. Our mission, to explore the outer limits of power and control, which explains how we dreamt up a 227 horsepower, turbocharged boxer engine bolted to a symmetrical all-wheel drive system. We've taken performance to a world it's never been before. The Subaru WRX.
We have ignition.
Visit your Subaru dealer for 2.9% APR for 63 months on every 2005 Subaru.
I know I say it every week, but listen to the variety this week on Wind Tunnel. Monday, Tyler Walker and Ryan Hemphill, Young Guns. Tuesday, Drag Racing, Don Schumacher. Wednesday, Elio Castro Neves. Thursday, AJ Allmendinger. 10 o'clock nightly. Be there.
It's a take-no prisoners approach in the Speed World Challenge. It's been a spectacular year yet again. This is our second last event of the year. The season finale will be at Mazda Raceway, Laguna Seca, and it looks like this championship, drivers and manufacturers, will go to California and be decided there at another tremendous facility and racetrack that we love to compete at.
So you want to be a race car driver, huh?
Yeah, exactly. On board with Mike Gallardi, multi-time champion, 5-time World Challenge champion, currently sits 11th, and coming into this race, enjoyed a narrow margin over Tommy Archer.
This is the closest he's been in the straightaway all race.
Yeah, it's been a tough day for him.
Yeah.
And we'll see what he can do, whether he can break into the top 10. Every position is vital. Every point is vital, especially when the guy closest to him, Tommy Archer, sits 5th.
Watch this restart now, see if Robin Liddell can make any ground on the Cadillac. Everybody's got cool tires now.
Everybody's watching. Doug Feehan, Max Pappas, they're keen to watch their good friend and co-worker Johnny O'Connell and see how he goes. Back to green, let's do it at Road Atlanta. What has Robin Liddell got for Max the Axe Angelelli? We'll find out. Someone goes. Big spinner at the back there.
That, if it stays in the grass, is good. If it comes in the racetrack, it's going to be a problem.
Was that? I think it was Bob Woodhouse. It was Bob Woodhouse.
Oh, there it is right there. It's still having trouble.
He gathers it back up.
Boy, he was lucky. Boy, he didn't spin back in front of the bunch of other cars.
That was a scary moment for Bob Woodhouse. He had a massive accident at the promoted test day at Infineon Raceway and wrecked a car, and that was nearly a second wrecked car.
Yeah, that was very nearly a completely total car, I tell you. Like I say, that's a very quick part of the racetrack. Even on a restart, it's over 100 miles per hour because it's downhill running toward it.
This is what the Speed World Challenge is all about, a variety of manufacturers and very skilled drivers. Cadillac, Porsche, Corvette, 3 different cars in the top 3 positions.
And you see Max Angelelli now strong again with the cooler tires and the cooler brakes. He's watch this restart, though. This is a big mess. Bob Woodhouse.
Top of your screen.
That's the first one that goes off, but it's up here. And watch it, the car spin. Now, he's never hit the wall yet, but that car is spinning like a top. It's going around another time right here. And the lucky thing is it stayed in the grass. Look, Johnny O'Connell now. Look at the car spinning down. Wow. Very fortunate that it stayed down there.
And from a different camera angle, watch to your left.
Oh,
there goes Bob Woodhouse.
That wasn't right at all. Bob Woodhouse, I'll tell you what, that's a frightening moment for him. And it did come back on the racetrack. Everybody did a good job avoiding that.
I think many of us have seen cars go into that concrete barrier there, and it's not good when that happens. But a lucky escape for Bob Woodhouse. nonetheless. Meanwhile, Tim Weens, Mike Culver going hard at it here. This is the battle for 8th.
And one of those guys that dropped wheels too. We saw the smoke down there. Don't know which one, but
as a result of Bob Woodhouse dropping out of the top 10, Mike Gallardi, the championship leader, now sits in 10th place with Audi newcomer and the most experienced man in Speed World Challenge, Peter Cunningham, sits 11th in his first drive in the RS6.
Well, Michael Gallardi doing exactly what he's got to do. I mean, he doesn't have the car to win this race, but the best position he can get is what he needs to do. And of course, if in the fact Cunningham was able to get in front of him, they'd pull him off at the end for the point situation.
Peter Cunningham is right behind this car. We ride with Michael Gallardi. Cunningham playing the perfect team role. That's exactly what he was brought in to do. Help win the manufacturer and driver's title for Audi and Mike Gallardi. Incidentally, Randy Popes, the reigning champion, sits back in 14th position. Not a bad effort considering where he started, dead last.
Yeah, but this is a disgusting sight when you're driving a race car and you're doing everything you can. You see those guys just walking you down the straightaway. There's nothing you can do about it. You just, every time you get to that long straight, you're just falling further back.
There's nothing in it up front. Robin Liddell, and that is Carol Holfelder.
It's a 10, spun around. I think that's out of turn 7.
Carol had some issues at the beginning of the race too, Dorsey, so not quite a happy day on the track for her here at Road Atlanta. Meanwhile, look at this. Angelelli, Liddell. It's about half a second in it from Phil McClure, who's been very steady at the front today. He had nothing for Robin Liddell, though. Robin got him on a straightforward passing move down into turn 10A. And now the battle is on at the front, Brian.
Indeed it is. I talked to Doug Springer, who's with Robin Liddell, and he said just before that yellow, Robin was convinced that Angelelli had used up his tires. Even though we talked about how good the Cadillac was on tires, Liddell said, well, he felt that the tires were gone. That yellow did allow the tires in the Cadillac to cool down, but more importantly, it allowed Max Angelelli to cool down. I also talked to Dave Spritzer, but just before the yellow flag, and he said Max is hot inside the car right now. He's already asking how many laps are left to go in the race. Last weekend, Max Angelelli got very hot in another sports car race. So 2 very hot weekends in a row, really wearing on Max's body there. This is going to be a hot race to the end. Robin Liddell is not going to let up, guys. They think they have a car to win.
Brian, I said that last week at another race when he had this problem. Once you make that call on the radio that how many laps do I have to go, I'm hot. Once you admit it to yourself, you psychologically have defeated yourself. It just really gets you in a mess. And here comes Robin Liddell.
Look at this, look at this. He's closing in and closing in fast. The AXA Porsche is right there with Max Angelelli. Robin Liddell, in only his second event, is poised for victory. But he needs to get past a very fast Cadillac first. Need to squeeze in a quick break. We're getting toward the end of this one. Stick around, more to come. The best is yet to come.
F-16. Hornet. F-111.
The Acura RSX Type S, now with 210 horsepower. You'll know it when you hear it.
Speed Tuesday. Turn over your keys and let the pros get to work. All new tuner transformation. Then they race hard, but off the track, they play even harder. Nopi Tuner Vision. It all begins 7 Eastern, 8 Pacific, Tuesday, only on Speed.
Stop weighing yourself every day. You'll make yourself crazy. I'm Dr. Greg Cinnamon, and there are diet pills that lure you into thinking you're losing fat when all you've lost is meaningless weight. Cortislim suggests you hide your scale for the next 30 days while they show you a smarter way to measure weight loss success. How you look in the mirror and how loose your clothes fit. It's that easy. Cortislim, coupled with intelligent diet and exercise, impacts so many weight problems, including the cortisol hormone that stashes excess pounds and inches around your stubborn weight loss areas. One popular radio personality tells his audience he stopped weighing himself, but knows Cortislim is working because he's fitting into clothes he couldn't come close to wearing in months. Make Cortislim the scientific centerpiece of your healthy diet and exercise regimen and fit into the clothes you want to wear.
Call 1-800-791-5307. 1-800-791-5307.
Welcome back to Road Atlanta. Lee Diffie along with Dorsey Schrader and Brian Till. You're watching the Speed World Challenge GT Championship, and Max Angelelli still able to hold Robin Liddell at bay.
Now, Robin Liddell, what he has to do in second place is keep the pressure on Max. He doesn't realize that Max is overheating in there yet, but if he did that, if he knew that, it would be even better. But he's got to keep the pressure on, particularly in the brake zones where the Porsche is good. Try to make Max get those tires hot, get those brakes really hot, so he can pounce on it.
Credit to Lou Gilotti. He is just out of shot at the back of this group. He runs 4th. He had to work his way through past quite a few people. He qualified 7th, but I don't think he got the best start. Lost several positions off the grid and then has fought back nicely. Tommy Archer sits 5th. Pilgrim is 6th. Leighton Reese is in a steady 7th. Then Culver has got the better of Tim Weens. Then Mike Gallardi and Peter Cunningham, 10 and 11. And Randy Popes has gained a few more positions in the last 2 laps. He's come up now to 13th, just behind Johnny O'Connell. That's the way they sit. Now, it seems as though that it's gone back in Angelelli's favour now, Dorsey. He's taken away some ground. He's moved away a little bit from Robin Liddell.
Yeah, or Robin could have backed up a little bit to sit there and trying to get a run going. It's funny because when you catch up to the back of a car like that, you lose all your momentum and you're not any longer quicker. So sometimes you have to back away and get a head of steam up to catch back up and go by.
Incidentally, we should explain a point just on the rewards weight or the weight in the cars. There is a rule that the SCCA mandated that any competitor that comes in the last 3 races of the season must carry 100 pounds.
So obviously, you know, you're looking at that with Johnny O'Connell, you know, having to put 100 pounds in that car because it's his first race, and also with Peter Cunningham. You know, they so you don't just come in, you know, and have a big advantage.
Blow everyone away, yeah. Guy who's second in the championship standings, Tommy Archer. He has had a stellar season. Very consistent, very, very consistent. Started the year with 3 fourths, then moved on to the podium, then won at Portland, then another podium at Mosport, and a 6th and a 7th at Mosport in the second round at Mosport, and then at Road America. But of course, he was carrying a lot more rewards weight, 245 pounds on that Dodge Viper competition coupe.
That's a lot of weight, but I'll tell you what, he's still in a very favorable situation because his adjustment this week was a plus. They gave him some weight back. On the other hand, the adversary, the Audis, are really, really hindered right now.
Leighton Reese in the Banner Corvette gets a little loose.
That'll get your blood pressure up.
And Mike Culver making good ground at the back of this pack. Obviously, the SCCA deemed that what happened with he and Johnny O'Connell in Culver's favour.
Yeah, they didn't penalise him anyway.
So he's having a good, strong run. Tony Gaples, 15th in the championship and 14th on track.
Where are Nigel and Trevor?
They're testing the vehicle stability control on the Lexus.
Any news?
The powerful allure of the new RX, continuing to put the world on notice.
Air Force Reserve, above and beyond.
If you're thinking about refinancing your mortgage to lower your monthly payments or to cash out equity, call or click on to Ditech.com. Right now, Ditech is offering a $395 flat fee home loan with 0 points that may save you thousands of dollars in closing costs. Let Ditech take the mystery out of lender closing costs. Get the $395 flat fee home loan from Ditech.com. Just call 1-800-DITECH-1 or apply online at Ditech.com.
Optima batteries with Spiral Cell AGM technology offer twice the life and more than 15 times the vibration resistance of ordinary batteries. In fact, the spill-proof 6-pack design is tough enough to outlast practically everything, including your vehicle. Optima, the ultimate power source.
Back at Road Atlanta, you ride with Johnny O'Connell, the ALMS GTS champion, Le Mans 24-hour winner, one of the true sports car greats, and his first drive in the Speed World Challenge. He's here to help Cadillac win that manufacturer's championship, and look at this. This is what he is supposed to do. Fight with the Audis and beat the Audis. Now he's lining both of them up. Cunningham first, then Galati.
Peter Cunningham's doing what he's supposed to do, too. Look right there. He's giving a help to his teammate by running in a close draft like that. And he thought about holding up Johnny a little bit. Awesome.
Whoa. Johnny slams it down on the inside there, gathered it back up, almost overcooked him. Now goes right to the inside defensive line there, sweeps down into turn 12 and watch him disappear.
Yeah, he will, too. Long legs on that Cadillac, and the Audis with that restrictor just don't have the ponies. But I tell you what, Peter Cunningham really is helping out Michael Galati by staying close to him on those long straightaways, pushing along, if you will. That drafting, that two-car draft, makes both cars quicker.
The twin-turbo RS6s. Pushing as hard as they can, but at the moment it's 11th and 12th.
See, they're okay in the corners. All through here, they'll be all right. It's just the two long straightaways where they're going to suffer.
Back at the front, nothing has changed while we're away. Max Angelelli still has the edge over Robin Liddell, and we're coming into the last few laps here at Road Atlanta. So if the Scotsman in the AXA Porsche sitting second is going to do anything about the Italian who leads this race, it has to be soon.
Don't count out fast Phil McClure right there. The 73 Corvette is caught up with Robin Liddell. At least it's closer. And behind that, you've got Lou Gelati also making ground.
There's Gelati, sits fourth. Good strong run for Lou today.
Got a handful of laps left, so somebody's going to have to do something here. Have to turn up the wick.
There's only 2.6 seconds, you know, from first to fourth, from Angelelli to Gelati. So Lou may be able to catch Phil McClure. This will be interesting. Little bit of traffic up ahead. We'll watch that. Then there's quite a gap back to Tommy Archer, who leads this pack, fighting with Andy Pilgrim. Then Leighton Reese and Mike Culver, who sits in 8th.
Let me tell you, fastest car on the track right now is Lou Gelati, who just ran off a lap of 29.6, putting him a clear half a second quicker than all these guys in front of him. So you're right, he is catching.
Riding here with Andy Pilgrim. Currently sits 6th, more valuable championship points, and will help Cadillac in their hunt for the manufacturer's title.
This is the 2004 Pro Formula Mazda. Powered by the high-output Renesas rotary engine. The same engine is in the 2004 Mazda RX-8. In fact, the most obvious difference between them is this one has a bigger muffler. Mazda RX-8, the sports car with the engine of a race car.
Introducing the Sports List, the new show that counts down anything
and everything
in the world of sports.
The Sports List, weeknights on FSA.
Let's say you've got a friend who's really into movies.
But he likes big Hollywood hits.
And she's into offbeat indie film.
What do? Just get Showtime Unlimited from DirecTV.
Problem solved. Because now you've got 4 premium networks on 9 channels in one great package.
With the latest uncut commercial-free movies.
Great movies.
I mean, don't you miss rocking out?
He's got his.
And she's got hers.
And for $12 or less a month, you've both got it all.
Just call 1-800-DIRECTV to order and get Showtime Unlimited.
Because everyone should be happy.
With DirecTV pay-per-view, you get more than just the newest movies on television. With up to 60 titles a month in digital quality picture and sound, you never need to rewind or return them. And with the DirecTV DVR, you can watch, pause, and rewind your pay-per-view movie whenever it suits you. Tune to Channel 105 for a complete list of titles or sign on to our website. DirecTV pay-per-view. Entertainment has never been so convenient.
You're watching the second last round of the Speed World Challenge GT Championship. Look at this. 2 separate great battles going on here. Robin Liddell is fighting Max Angelelli for the lead. Meanwhile, behind these guys, Lou Gelati has closed that gap, definitely, to Phil McClure, and Phil's in danger of losing that final step on the podium.
Yeah, the 2 Corvettes really going at it right now. Like I said, last lap was Lou Gelati was the quickest. He is also quicker again, Brian.
Just checked in with the 3R team about Phil McClure. I said, do you have tires and do you have time? They said, we were just getting slick tires before the caution came out. We got good tires on the restart, but we think we're about to lose them again. In time, we're definitely running out of that.
Tremendous showing here today from the 3R Racing team. 3 of the 4 in the top 10. Well, they regularly run as a 3-car team. Robert Foster came in as a 4th. He was the guy who came to a stop on the front stretch that nervous moment earlier in the race. Meanwhile, Phil has responded. He's pulled away slightly from Lou Gelati. And Phil McClure has definitely been the benchmark as far as the Corvette competitors.
No question about
this
that.
Field.
Fast Phil has done a great job this year on the Corvette front for those guys. When these tires start going off, what happens is you just start losing grip. It's not like you lose one end or the other usually. You just start losing lap speed or lap time, and that's what we're seeing right now. Angelelli able to hold back Robin Liddell. Now, of course, the longer it goes, the advantage goes more toward the Porsche, but we don't have that many laps left.
Johnny O'Connell working Tim Weens. The Audi's right behind, so he hasn't been able to pull away too much.
No, he really hasn't. That surprises me.
Biggest movers, as you can see, Randy Popes has done a marvelous job after starting last. Now runs 13th. Nice effort.
Mike Galati and Peter Cunningham doing that two-car Audi draft. They need the help of these big cars. They really get pulled along pretty good here at Road Atlanta on the straightaway. If you can get that big car in front of you and just run the draft.
We said right at the top of the show, there is a championship on the line. There's a title up for grabs. And boy, are those points going to be looking interesting at the end of today with points leader Mike Galati down in 11. And then you've got the man who's right behind him, Tommy Archer, sits 5th. He will close that gap on Michael Galati, and Laguna Seca should be thrilled.
Like I said at the beginning of the show, the guy to watch is Archer. He's very crafty, and with this penalty, or not penalty, but the rewards weight that they've done in the restrictor on the Audi, I mean, that's given him a big advantage to catch back up these
Whoa,
points.
Robin Liddell, hard on the brakes. Sorry, Dawson, he got a little loose coming in there.
Well, he's trying hard now. I mean, his laps are running out. I'm sure they're on the radio with him saying, okay, you only got a couple to go. You know, give it to him all you can. And one of the places the Porsche is going to do it well is in those brake zones.
Robin Liddell knows that there is time. Time is running out. They're coming to the white flag. There's 1 1/4 laps to go. Lou Gelati is sizing up Phil McClure, and he's in the perfect spot to make a move under the brakes down into 10A, and I think he's going to get him.
Yeah, he's got a good run to the inside. Now it's going to be a braking duel down here.
And Phil won't give up this third easily, but he's got no choice.
Well, he might go side by side. No, he gives it up. He saw, whoa, Gelati with a big puff of smoke out. Was that tire or was that an engine smoke? I saw that once before. 1 lap to go. Well, can he hang on?
The battle at the front. Max Angelelli, he set the pole time and won at Sebring. Oh, Lou Gelati has run wide at turn 12. Kicked up some dirt and dust. Now Phil McClure wants to respond. Can't quite get there in turn 1.
I didn't like that smoke. There it is again. There it was again. A puff of smoke out of Gelati's car. He's got some engine woes starting. There it is again.
Oh, well.
Half a lap to go, and it's blowing itself up.
It's gone.
There it goes.
What a shame for Lou Gelati.
Now he's oiling the track down pretty good, too. So poor Phil McClure's got a windshield full of oil, I'm sure.
And I think Lou Gelati's just going to try and ride this out to the line.
Yeah, do you see the oil right there?
Yeah.
McClure just took a big ride. Now that's a problem. Joel needs to get up there and get by that car, but the closer it gets to it, yeah, he's getting the oil slick.
Final lap, we're on our way home, half to go. Max Angelelli, he won at Sebring. Can he do it again here today? We've had 5 different race winners in the last 5 races. Angelelli will make it 6. O'Connell gives Weens a little nudge. Comes up side by side with the 3R man. Johnny's pushing hard to home. He's got there. The Audi boys. Whoa, look at this. Wild stuff here. 3 abreast there as Cunningham and Galati go side by side.
I think Cunningham doing his job right there, trying to break this battle up, trying to get Galati all the points he can get.
And it's actually Cunningham who's ahead of Mike Galati. Meanwhile, Robin Liddell has one last roll of the dice. He's got to do it now if he's going to do it at all. But I think he's going to run out of space and time. He will. Max Angelelli will win his 2nd race of the Speed World Challenge GT season. Max the Axe does it in Atlanta. Great work from the Italian. He wins for Corvette. Valuable points in the manufacturer's chase. And can you believe that car held on?
He made it. The engine stayed together. Strauss puffing smoke really bad.
Weens comes back on Michael Galati. He's struggling by the looks of things. Meanwhile, Cunningham races off to get as many manufacturer points as he can. Down the hill, checkered flag waiting. What a wild last lap.
I can't believe Gelati's motor stayed together all the way through there. Poor Phil McClure couldn't do a thing about all the oil.
There's the man. 6 different winners in the last 6 races, and the title is still up for grabs.
Closed captioning on Speed Channel is brought to you by Best Western.
Want to get the deal that Michael Waltrip gets? Then race over to bestwesternracing.com before this deal is gone.
Electronic 4-wheel drive. vehicle stability assist with traction control, and an available navigation system with off-road tracking. The 265 horsepower Acura MDX. Its heart's in the right place, even if you're not.
Today's hottest cars, the world's top manufacturers, door-to-door competition, adrenaline pumping action. Experience it live at Fry's Electronic Sports Car Championships at Mazda Raceway Laguna Seca, Monterey, California, October 15th through the 17th. For tickets, call 800-327-SECA. SCCA Speed World Challenge, everything you dreamed road racing should be.
How fast is your car? Really? G-Tech Pro will tell you. It measures your 0 to 60 time, quarter-mile time, handling Gs, and yes, horsepower and torque. Plus, it has sequential shift lights. It's accurate, easy to use, and there's no installation. Just plug it in and go. Become a better driver and have some fun, guaranteed or your money back. It's only $199.95 and it makes a great gift. Call the 24-hour hotline right now at 800-G-Tech Pro. That's 1-800-483-2477.
Hey, Greg White here. On the next Two Wheel Tuesday, it's off to Milwaukee, Wisconsin for something called Rocker Box. And what does the Battleship New Jersey have to do with motorcycles? Well, tune in to Two Wheel Tuesday and find out. 8 Eastern, 9 Pacific, only on Speed.
Autoerotica. Legendary racing machines take to the track. Celebrate 50 years of Ferrari. Monterey Historic Automobile Races, Wednesday, 8 Eastern, 9 Pacific, only on Speed.
Speed Channel's coverage of the Speed GT Championship is brought to you by Toyo Tires, driven to perform, and by Volvo, Volvo for life. Welcome back to Road Atlanta, everyone. Great Speed GT race, and the man who started the finish well seems to be finishing the season well. Max Angelelli is with Brian Till.
Well, absolutely. Lou Gelati giving congratulations to Max Angelelli. Max, what a tremendous job. You haven't tasted the champagne since Lime Rock, not a win since Sebring. It's going to be sweet today, yeah?
Thank you very much. I'm very happy. It was a tough race for me. It was like a qualified race. Every single lap I was qualifying the car. Really difficult.
A lot of pressure from Robin Liddell there in the end. Max got out of the car and said, I had a gun to my head the whole last lap. I was not going to make a mistake.
And Dave Spitzer, the program manager there at Cadillac, big cuddle and hug and a pat on the back for Max Angelelli. We go through our final results. Johnny O ended up in the top 10 after fighting back with a contact with Mike Culver, and pretty valuable championship points for Tommy Archer and Andy Pilgrim as well. We congratulate Kenny Hawkins, our hard charger. He went our Sunoco hard charger 25th to 19th. Well done for him, an enjoyable day. For Peter Tonelli, who ended up in 30th just behind Bob Woodhouse, it was an eventful day for him, that's for sure. Time to hear from a man who gave us a lot of excitement and entertainment today, the Scotsman, Robin Liddell.
Well, I don't think Robin Liddell was the only person that thought he had a car for Max Angelelli. We thought you were going to get him in the end. You just run out of tires?
No, it wasn't so much that. I mean, I think we were about even over a lap. I was pushing him as hard as I could, but he was a bit stronger in some places and I was stronger in other places, and I was pretty quick coming out of 10B, but I just couldn't carry the speed onto the front straightaway, what with the understeer I had through 12. But it was pretty evenly matched. I really enjoyed it.
Well, definitely not a shabby finish. Only 2 World Challenge starts for Robin Liddell, and the second one ends up with a second place. Lee?
He's a nice guy, and it's great to have him in the Speed World Challenge. Thanks to John Groom for bringing him in. Hopefully we'll see a lot more. How tight is this? 6 points going into the 10th and final round. The pressure is on the 5-times champion, Michael Galati. Tommy Archer, can he do it? Andy Pilgrim, boy oh boy, this is exciting stuff. And Max Angelelli finishing with a burst the way he started the season. That's how the drivers' points stand. The manufacturers, I said it was a big talking point at the top of the show. It can't be any closer than this. They're tied. Audi and Cadillac, the 2 huge manufacturers, going hard at it at the top, and it will be decided at Mazda Raceway Laguna Seca. Well, time for our Remus power move of the race. And Dorsey, it goes to Lou Gelati.
It does indeed go to Lou Gelati as he uses his V8 power to overdo Andy Pilgrim up the straightaway. Let's take a look right here. Sets him up about a turn 7 perfectly and drops the hammer. The big V8 thunders by. That's the power move. And remember, that thing blew up with 1 lap to go and still finished.
Yeah, great move from Lou Gelati. He had a very, very good race today, and he obviously went past Tommy Archer there and finished on the podium. We congratulate Lou Gilotti for a fine effort, his second podium of the 2004 season. 6 different winners in the last 6 races. Sensational variety and diversity, and as we've come to expect, Speed World Challenge was exciting yet again. On behalf of Brian Till and Dorsey Schrader, I'm Lee Diffie. Thanks for joining us for round 9 here at Road Atlanta. The title will be decided at Laguna Seca. We hope you can join us on October 17. See you then.
After 11 of 12 races and what has proven to be